now let's take a look at the dollar amount of sales. And what I'm about to show you is actually it's on the screen now. This is all the home sales recorded in the Atlanta metro area, according to the FMLS, which is used by agents in the Atlanta area. There's also another MLS system that's used in Georgia, the Georgia MLS service. But the FMLS is what I use most of the time, and that's what I'm using to present this data today. So this shows from 2018 to June of 2022, the dollar sales of homes sold in the Atlanta market. And that peaked recently, well, a year ago in June 2022, there was $46 billion of home sales. And you could see how that was a significant increase from 2018 with $25 billion of sales. And coronavirus, since early 2000, the sales went up from 30 billion and shot all the way up to 46 billion. And now today, as of June of this year, just a few weeks ago, there's been $36 billion of home sales in the entire Atlanta region. Now, I'm going to split these statistics up in just a second. I need to do a little change here. And there. So let's take a look at this. This chart breaks down home sales, these $38 billion of home sales as of June, which is the very end, the right part of each of these charts, these line graphs. But it breaks it down by decades. Well, sort of by decades. So the black line, the darkest line that you'll see on the screen, is homes sold 1989 that were built in 1989 or earlier or before 1989. And then the green is homes that were constructed from 1990 to 1999, so the 1990s. The yellow is the 2020s from 2000 to 2009. And then the blue line represents homes that were constructed 2010 and later. So that actually is about 13 years now rather than 10 years. So you can see that the older homes constructed in 1989 or before 1989 outpaced all the other decades and kind of dipped below now of newer homes that are built. But even the newer homes, home built in 2010 is already 13 years old. So the point that I'm making in these charts is that clearly the older home stock is significant in the Atlanta area. And I'm going to show some other stats from the National Association of Home Builders and the National Association of Realtors in just a few minutes here. But I want to take a little bit of time to just analyze this chart a little bit more. I am restricted by, limited by the capability of the stats that I'm able to present to you just because of the limitations of the MLS that I have. But the point that I want to make is that homes constructed from 2000 and earlier, or even 2009. Let's go to 2009. So that's where the break comes in these statistics or this chart. Homes built 2009 are already 13 years old. And so the vast majority of the homes that are sold in the Atlanta market are well over 20 years old. And the ones 1989 and earlier, there's quite a few that represents $10 billion of home sales of homes constructed 1989 or earlier. And this leads to a couple of statistics that I want to show you. The first one from the National Association of Realtors. And this statistic of the aging home stock in the United States is very significant. So in 2001, well, you can see this chart, the existing homes compared to new homes that are purchased. It's very stark comparison. Home construction new home construction is about 15% of the home sales that take place annually in the United States. So 85% of homes that are sold are not new construction homes. So that in itself is pretty significant. Now, this chart from National Association of Realtors shows the age of homes, typical age of homes that are built on a year-by-year basis, going back to 2009, where the typical home was 18 years old. And now as of 2021, in this chart, the typical home is 28 years old. So that's pretty significant. The stock of older homes is just significant. I want to go over to the National Association of Home Builders information. Their data is a little bit more recent, February 6th, 2023. And they have a nice pie chart here. I'm not really going to break that pie chart down, but I do want to point out a few statistics. The median age of owner-occupied homes is 40 years. This really surprised me. For the last couple of years, I've been saying it's between 35 and 39 years old. But now they are saying the median age of owner-occupied homes in the United States is 40 years. That's so significant. It's unbelievable. New home construction is just not keeping up with the demand for housing. And as new home construction continues at a pace that doesn't really meet demand and fill the gap, the lack of housing inventory will continue to be created by the renovation of older homes. As homes age, they need to be renovated. And some homeowners are really good at keeping up the maintenance on their home. But after a home is 20 years old, there's a lot of components and high ticket items that need to be replaced, such as the roof and the HVAC and other items. And if a home is not fully renovated in 20 years, it starts looking very dated. Just the features of the home, the style of the cabinetry, the countertops, the lighting, the flooring is probably worn out by 20 years. So that's normally replaced by a homeowner that really is conscientious about maintaining their home properly. But many of those home owners are not necessarily replacing kitchen cabinets that are not worn out. They're just dated in their features, and the lighting fixtures, although they're somewhat easily replaceable if they're functional, many homeowners don't replace their lighting fixtures. So there's two things that happen. You have homeowners that do not maintain their properties well, and then you have homeowners that do, but those that do don't necessarily make the upgrades, the cosmetic upgrades that make sense for a buyer today that wants to buy a home in a like new condition. So the older housing stock in America just presents a tremendous opportunity that will be here for years to come to renovate homes and resell them for profit. And this is what we do. And so the gap that we like to go for is not only homes that have outdated features. We're looking for homes that really need some repairs, that have a roof that absolutely needs to be replaced. It's on the last year or two of its life. HVAC units that need to be replaced right now. Worn out flooring, painting, maybe walls in the house that are scuffed up and marked up, and lighting fixtures that just look very antiquated. And maybe siding on the house that really needs significant repairs, windows that need to be replaced. All these things represent the opportunity that we have as home renovators to buy homes that are in need of renovation, just because the housing stock in America is so old and is going to continue to be this way for years to come. Even if new home construction accelerates the pace of homes that are built, the older homes are still going to exist and still represent the vast majority of homes that will be sold in the next 5 or 10 years. And I don't know when it will flip, when the statistics will flip, but probably never, because there'll always be an older housing stock. But right now, there's just a tremendous opportunity to profit by purchasing older homes, renovating them into like new condition, and then reselling them for a profit. So going back to the sales in the Atlanta area, these are 5-year statistics. This chart, these line charts represent each data point for each month. June 2023 is the previous 12 months up through that month. And so this is a rolling 12-month chart. It goes back 5 years. I'm going to go back maximum, which goes back to 2010. And you can see, obviously, the vast increase in home sales by dollar volume. But the black line, which represents homes that are constructed 1989 or earlier, are the vast majority of them. And that's changing a little bit with newer homes being built. But the total of older homes together from the 1990s, the 2000s, as well as those built 1989 or sooner, there's way more of those homes than the newer homes built 2010 and later. So anyway, I'm going to wrap that up here today. If you guys have any questions, just contact me offline after we end this webinar. I'll be glad to answer any questions, but this is the main point I wanted to bring you in this section of the webinar. And we'll go on to the next section, but if you have questions about this, you can contact me after the webinar ends in just about another 30 minutes. We'll go. I just want to talk to you guys about a few other things about the real estate investing opportunities here in the Atlanta market. So